The Carter house stood alone at the edge of Ridgeview, its faded gray exterior shrouded in ivy and decay. For decades, no one had dared to live there. Locals spoke in hushed tones about the house's dark past. Its last owners vanished without a trace. When Rachel and Eric Williams, newlyweds seeking a fresh start, purchased the property, the townspeople shook their heads. "This place has history," their neighbor Mrs. Lowell warned. "Not the good kind." Rachel dismissed the warning as small-town superstition. She and Eric had big plans to renovate the house, turning it into their dream home. But from the moment they stepped inside, Rachel felt it, the oppressive weight of something unspoken. While exploring the attic one afternoon, Rachel discovered a forgotten trunk tucked behind old furniture. Inside were yellowed letters, faded photographs, and a leather-bound journal with the name Margaret Carter etched on the cover. The lock was rusted shut, but curiosity got the better of Rachel. She broke it open. The first few entries were mundane, detailing Margaret's life in the 1960s. But as Rachel read on, the tone shifted. Margaret wrote about her husband, Henry, a stern and secretive man. She described how he would disappear for hours, sometimes days, with no explanation. She wrote of strange noises at night, footsteps where there should be none, whispers that seemed to come from the walls. One entry sent chills down Rachel's spine. "I think he's hiding something in the house. If anything happens to me, it's in the walls." When Rachel showed the journal to Eric that evening, he waved it off. "It's just a story," he said, flipping through the pages. People back then were dramatic. But Rachel couldn't shake the feeling that Margaret's words were a warning. She began searching the house, tapping on walls and inspecting every corner. Her efforts unearthed more mysteries. A loose floorboard in the dining room revealed a bundle of old photographs. Each image showed a different person standing in front of the Carter house, their expressions stiff and uneasy. None of them were identified. The more Rachel investigated, the more the house seemed to resist her. At night, she heard whispers, soft, almost unintelligible, but persistent. Objects moved on their own. Lights flickered without reason. Eric accused her of letting her imagination run wild, but his behavior began to shift, too. He grew irritable, secretive, and oddly protective of certain parts of the house. One stormy night, Rachel discovered a hidden compartment behind the attic mirror. Inside was a stack of newspaper clippings about a series of disappearances from the 1960s. Margaret's final journal entry had been right. There was something in the walls. The articles described Henry Carter as a suspect, but no evidence was ever found, and the case went cold. Rachel confronted Eric, desperate for him to believe her. Instead, he revealed a shocking truth. His grandfather had worked with Henry Carter. Eric had known about the house's history all along. "I thought it was just stories," Eric said, his voice cracking, "but maybe there's more to it." The tension between them exploded when Rachel found fresh footprints in the attic dust, too large to be hers and too recent to belong to the past. Someone had been there. The final confrontation unfolded in the attic. Rachel found Eric standing by the hidden compartment, his hands trembling as he held one of Margaret's photographs. "I didn't want you to find out this way," he said, his voice hollow. "What are you talking about?" Rachel demanded. Before he could answer, the whispers grew louder, filling the room with an otherworldly hum. The mirror cracked, and the air turned icy. Rachel stumbled backward as the compartment burst open, revealing a hidden room. Inside were skeletal remains and the rotted belongings of Margaret's missing victims. In a frenzy, Rachel fled the house, leaving Eric behind. The police arrived hours later to find him rambling incoherently, claiming the house wouldn't let him leave. The remains in the walls confirmed Margaret's suspicions, but the full truth of Henry Carter's crimes, and Eric's connection to them, remained shrouded in mystery. Rachel never returned to Ridgeview. She left the Carter house behind, but the whispers stayed with her, haunting her dreams and reminding her of the secrets buried in the walls.